On the ground truth and the conflict, this is not a simple conflict of good versus evil, though Assad certainly is evil, and it is not a single conflict. This is many different conflicts. And frankly, a fatal flaw in Nick and Nigel's position here is there is no opposition for us to support. You'd think that if you had a dog in the fight, you could at least have a name for the dog on the other side, but it's not good enough to say the Syrian people or the Syrian opposition, because the fact is there is no unified opposition and there is no connection between the mostly exile-based political leadership and the fighters on the ground. We're so draconian on time, I can't really go through all the different factions of Syrian fighters and political entities at the moment, but there's the Syrian Free Army, the Syrian Liberation Front, the Syrian Islamic Front, the Al-Nusra Front, various Kurdish groups, independent groups, all of whom are in fact umbrella groups of smaller numbers of fighters out there in the field running their own operations. And in that context, there are also organizers, the National Coalition, who are mostly outside of the country, not connected to the fighters on the inside and not able to dictate what happens on the ground. And so this is a real problem. If you want to have a dog in the fight, to not have the slightest idea who it is and to hope that it will come together. And in fact, the most effective and vicious and aggressive fighters in this conflict are ones with whom we would never side. The last one I mentioned was the Al-Nusra Front. This is a wing of Al-Qaeda. It has sworn allegiance to Ayman Zawahiri. So yes, we really have two dilemmas in Syria. We've got Assad aligned with Hezbollah, a Shiite extremist terrorist group, and the most effective and operationally active opposition group being one who is completely anathema to us, to the point that we've designated them a foreign terrorist organization. So how can you have a dog in the fight when you can't even identify the dog? Second, on chemical weapons, Assad has a massive chemical weapons arsenal comprised primarily of nerve gas sarin, VX,